What's up, everybody? It's your boys Patrick and John back here with some more Opum One Piece of Our Minds. Chapter 1108 just dropped the official version. We don't read the scans like plebeians. So we're here to review the chapter, give you our honest, true to God reactions, and then discuss the series at large at the end of it all. Patrick, did I miss anything?
No, you heckin' nailed it there, pal.
Heckin' nailed it there, pal. Let's get into reading this because I'm just too hype.
I mentioned, do we want to briefly mention last chapter, or we just want to jump into this one?
You might as well catch us up to speed. You're the narrator. I'm just the
I'm the
narrator's
narrator.
narrator.
Yeah, so I was a little bummed we didn't get to talk about last week's chapter because a lot of shit happened. I don't know if you remember this, John, but
Wait,
you
did we
know,
not upload last week's? Was I
no,
dead?
we just didn't record for it. Is the thing. We were busy this week.
I forgot
This
all
is
about that.
yeah,
It's been a busy week.
it has been. So it's cool that it didn't happen. I'm not upset. I don't think the fans are upset, but like
The
Oimo and
fans.
Kashi were there. Usopp is like, my masters, they're here. And then Luffy actually hit Saturn, with the, what was it? I don't even remember what the name of it, Dawn Gatling or something like
I
that. It
think it
was
was
cool.
Dawn
Bonnie,
Gatling.
like, he had a really sweet interaction with Bonnie. And oh my God, I loved every minute. And then Kenry Devon and Van Auger showed up and they did something. And now they're gone. And Caribou's like, no, wait, hold up a minute. And
Okay,
that's kind of
wait,
where we
wait,
left
wait. Do
things
you
off.
not remember what they did? They touched
No, they
Saturn. She
touched
can turn
Saturn.
into Saturn.
Yeah, which has a lot of implications. But and this is we can say this for the theorizing part of the chapter. But I also think it's really interesting that Saturn lashed out directly at Van Auger and not Katarina Devon. I just thought that was interesting.
Hmm.
The way that
Yeah,
it's
we'll
drawn
have
makes me
to.
think.
We'll talk about that. But yeah, at the
Hmm.
end, let's not forget to mention Caribou showed up,
Not
eventually
Court.
or essentially revealing himself to be Blackbeard's Bartolomeo, where he's just a total fanboy.
We
And
all kind of predicted when he said, "I got to report to that guy back in Wano," but still,
yeah, I knew
what is
he
that?
was going to like definitely. Who else would he have been hinting to unless there was a character we hadn't met yet? It was obviously Blackbeard. I
Hmm.
did not predict him being like the Bartolomeo fanboy. Just oh my god, it's Blackbeard.
Hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that either. So it's cool because I've been wondering for the last ooh, 10 years now, what's Caribou up to? What's his
Oh my
point
god,
here?
has it really been that long?
He's been around a while.
Okay, that's enough chit chat. Let's
Oh, that's
jump
my alarm.
in.
All right, cool. Let's jump in to One Piece chapter 1008. Sorry, added 100 onto that. 1108. And we have a really lovely color spread. We have the women of One Piece. We have, Robin, Nami, also Uta. Shout out to Uta. But also we have Tashigi and oh my God, what's her name? Reiju with Hancock, all on the couch, just sipping somewhat I can only assume is champagne, just chilling like homies. It
That's
looks like
literally not
Reiju.
champagne, okay? It's pink. Okay,
It's
pink
pink.
champagne's
Champagne can
not a
be.
thing.
It
That's
can
just a
be pink.
sparkling wine,
If they can
allegedly.
make pink lemonade, what's to stop them from making pink champagne? Think about
I'm not getting into the history of wine making right now.
it. Yeah, all right. So yeah, lovely color spread, but we're gonna move right along. And all right, chapter 1108, Come In World. We see a bunch of, a shot of Egghead, shit's going down. Bunch of, da doom, doom, like screams and shit. And we're on the edge of the island with Van Auger and Katarina Devon, and Caribou is on the ground, kneeling, begging, please. Ah, oh, wait, don't shoot. Who is this guy? That's wet haired Caribou. You got it right, just hold your fire, please. He's a pirate, it's true, but this is a government island. There are many who threaten the Commodore's life, and Van Auger's getting ready to pull the trigger. And Caribou's like, no, sir, not me. Please, you gotta trust me. If you kill me now, Master Teach is gonna split your skulls. Fascinating. And why is that? Because I got some very valuable information you won't hear from anyone else. That one of the ancient weapons named after gods, Poseidon, refers to the power of Shirahoshi, princess of Fishman Island, and that another one, Pluton, slumbers beneath the land of Wano. The only people in the entire world who know both of these facts are the Straw Hat Crew and little old me. If you just let me meet with Master Teach, I'll happily provide that information to him. I'm sure he'll be very pleased to hear it. So take me with you. I know it'll be worth your time. So they're just kind of looking and thinking about it.
So they
Pull
definitely
back.
take him, right? Because he's not a threat.
No, he's not a threat.
He's
I
going with
totally
him.
understand their hesitation, but I don't think they're gonna consider that a threat at this point. Excuse me. All right. Pull back from the shore. Don't try to fight back against the pacifistas. And you see them just like bouncing shit back at the warships with their bubble shields. No, the bubble shields. Why are we the ones who have to reckon with the power of the Navy's Special Science Group? Oh, classic Navy. And then one of them is shooting a ship with his arm beam. He's like, pew, pew, pew. There's nothing we can do here. Destroying them only sets the Navy back. What do we do? Let them sink us? That's Vice Admiral Bluegrass. We also have Vice Admirals Hound and Guillotine. Is it possible to cancel the Buster call? I don't think it's ever been done before. Vegapunk was the one who gave the pirates power over the pacifistas, wasn't he? There's no way we can call it off now. He's completely turned traitor against the government. He's guilty of treason. Excuse me. Our first course of action is to get the pacifistas back under control. Take out the pirate, Jewelry Bonnie. All Vice Admirals, leave your posts and eliminate Jewelry Bonnie. That's Vice Admiral Doberman. Shout out. She's fleeing from the Fabio phase in the city center toward the northeast coast. Kill Jewelry Bonnie now. Copy that. This is Tosa. I've got the target's rear position. Executing now. These claws are 10-finger pistols that will chew through any armor. Tosa bite, and he's going in on Frankie and Bonnie. Crap, it's an officer. He's like, and everyone's screaming like, ah, and then you just see him go like, hmm,
Okay, real quick. Never mind. I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it.
okay. You're fine. I was just trying to interpret what the heck is happening on this next page, but um, no, actually, I don't know what's going on here. He's grabbing something, right?
Okay, so he got bashed in the head good by the giants.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't. I was just trying to interpret what the heck that
He
was
got
anyway.
bashed up all good like.
It looked like he lost like an arm or did he get? Okay.
Look, man, he's been bashed. That's all I know.
All right, he's been bashed. But Bonnie's like, yeah, and now they're just realizing that the giants are here. Huh? What are giants doing on this island? New enemies? We're already in a hurry. And you just hear the laugh. Gah, bah, 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 bah. Who are you? We brushed up on the new members through their bounty posters, but I don't see any of them. Are you all researchers here? We've come for the Straw Hat crew, and you just see Dory and Broggy splatting people. He's been splatted good. He's flat as a pancake. Jesus.
I love that because Frankie's picture is just not him.
It's not. Ow! Luffy's my captain. What beef you got with him? No beef, only gratitude. We are warriors of Velbath. We will happily protect any of their friends. Luffy and Sanji and Vegapunk are still in the middle of the island. Will you help them? Those are some familiar names. Of course we will. Vegapunk is the man that Scholar mentioned. Take them to the ship. Let's hurry. The flames are really spreading. Sure thing, captains. So they're on our side. Are those the masters Usopp always talks about?
They are. It's just so cool.
We're gonna come back to that Scholar at the end of this. I've
Mm-hmm.
got ideas. All right. So now we've got Vice Admirals Urban and Pomsky, and then there's Bluegrass again. The lines are down. Either they got blasted or hit by giants. I'm going onto the island. I'll go by sea. Hop on, doll. And remember, she can control stuff by climbing on their backs and shit. The ship from Elbaf is on the northeast coast. The strength of giants is top notch. You ever fought a giant? My superior officer was a giant over 20 years ago, and that's Doll saying that. Was? You mean Saul? He was a strong one.
Ooh.
Where are your other friends? There's a lab on top of the clouds. They're up there. On a sky island? No, it's right over our heads. We gotta get you out of here or you won't make it. Ouch. Moving me only speeds the blood loss. So Sanji and Luffy are standing between Saturn and dying Vegapunk, who's bleeding out, not necessarily dying. But don't you remember that we promised you we'd get you off this island? I know I asked for that, but now I've made up my mind. There is something here I must protect. What? I was hoping not to tell Bonnie about her special authority until she was more grown up. They'll be after her life, of course. Please, keep her safe. He's less and less human by the minute. His eyes look bizarre. And is he coated with poison or something? Dang, he's getting creepy looking. I'm uncomfy.
I'm loving it. This is a great villain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Um,
shit!
now they're moving Vegapunk. What the heck? Look out, Luffy. Eh, Luffy's just like, wow. Go ahead and take him away, Sanji. Ignore him if he shouts in pain.
Classic Luffy.
Yow! Stop! Enough, Sanji. I know. Just sit tight. And Kizaru comes in and just kind of whacks him in the face. Oh, we forgot to mention that Sanji blocked his thing. But anyway, huh? No. And then you see Kizaru shoot a beam right through Vegapunk's tum tum. So now he's like double bleeding out. Ah, Vegapunk, Apple Man. Just run around the back of the island, Sanji. Damn it. Sorry about this, Vegapunk. And Kizaru's going in for another attack. But then Luffy. Oh, wow.
Oh
Oh,
my
wow.
god!
Oh, wow.
That's so hype.
Oh, I love it. And you just see him get grabbed by Luffy, and while he's holding on to Saturn's face, just palming his face like a basketball. You guys aren't going anywhere. And we're cutting away,
But
unfortunately.
look at Kizaru's face. He did the puff of breath. I know he's not
And
down
he's,
for the count here, but just the grab is enough to incapacitate him.
I mean, we thought he was down for the count like 10 chapters ago. Here he's coughing up blood, and yeah, you see that puff coming from his mouth too. Like, man,
Oh my
he's seen better days.
god.
Damn it. Hey, Vegapunk, snap out of it. You're not dead, are you? Why are you smiling? And you just hear beep, click, zh. Ahem, hello? Check, check. Is this on? Hello out there. Come in, world. Ahem. I am Dr. Vegapunk, a humble genius scientist. While many of you will likely be shocked by what I have to say in this message, I assure you that it is the truth of this world. Oh my
Oh
god.
shit.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
dude.
god, Egghead, what are you?
It just keeps going, man. That's
It
the
was
end of the
supposed to be a
chapter.
short little detour arc.
Oh my god.
Oh my
And we're not on
god.
break.
And we're not on break.
Oh, we're back.
Okay.
Oh, what a hype
Okay.
chapter.
So first thing I want to point out, it's a little less hype compared to everything now. Back when that vice admiral was attacking Frankie,
Yeah.
it introduced Vice Admiral Bluegrass, Vice Admiral Hound, Vice Admiral Guillotine, Vice Admiral Doberman, and then
Hmm.
the one who was going with the 10 finger pistol is Navy HQ Vice Admiral. Is that a special classification, or did Oda just decide to throw in some fluff on him?
It could be that, just to kind of make it feel more intimidating.
I
Because like
just even after
they've
the
done
ones
stuff.
all introduced later, he's the only one here who got that Navy HQ.
Yeah. I mean, there have been other people that have that Navy HQ
Mhm.
before their position, I think. So,
I just didn't know if it was something special or if it was fluff or what was that. My God, where do we even begin?
oh man, I'm just gonna go from the beginning. I do Cattery Devon and Caribou Van Auger. Like, I don't know what more we need to talk about other than stuff from last chapter, but it's just it's stuff's moving. Blackbeard's gonna get all the pieces pretty, Now he's going after, dude. Act 5 or Act 4, Blackbeard. He's attacking Wano.
No, I'm telling you, if they're going back for the ancient weapons, we still have a chance for Act
Raid's gonna
4.
fail, dude.
It's happening.
But I mean, this is how we wrote back the Shirahoshi. This is how we get back to Wano and Momo and Yamato.
No, okay,
Um,
here's this. Ready? Total like fanboy over the top no way this happens hype theory. We go
mhm.
back to Wano to reveal Blackbeard now has Moria on his crew. We take Big Mom and Kaido's
Mhm.
shadows. We slap
Oh,
them onto Orange Jr.
hmm,
Yeah. Now we have big angry shadow monster.
that'd be hype
That's
as heck.
what's more hype than fighting two emperors at the same time? Fighting two emperors at the same body.
Two emperors at the same time. If Blackbeard's there, that's three emperors right there.
That's three emperors, and then we get to see Luffy, the fifth emperor, knock them all down at the same time because Buggy's just also here now.
Buggy's just there, and he's like,
Yeah.
oh man.
No, I'm legitimately until the series is over. I'm holding out hope for Act 4. I don't buy it. The great tragedy is it's not over. The raid
That'd
will
be
fail.
that'd be really something else. I have a feeling that it's gonna be like what they did with Whole Cake, where they, went to Whole Cake in a cover story.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's a much more plausible explanation, don't get me wrong. I fully admit I'm in such a dying minority here, but I will die on
mhm.
this hill. I I loved Wano so much.
Yeah, Wano is great, and I wouldn't be
It's
mad if we went back, but I think
my
pacing
real
wise, it
only
makes more sense.
complaint is I think the raid was going to fail, and Oda got tired of being in Wano for like 3 years or whatever it was, and was just like, never mind.
That's what it is. I think a lot of it is the constraints of writing a weekly
Yeah.
series that
No,
he's
and
been
I
writing for like
get
20
wanting to
years.
move on, but I think it was supposed to be five, and we cut it down to three. Anywho, that's
Yeah,
Wano talk.
topic for
Let's talk
another time,
about freaking Saturn. Just like you
bro.
said, he's got the crazy eyes on him. He's turning into more and more of an animal. He's apparently got some kind of venom or acid coming out of his claws
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Just absolutely blind with rage. So is he blind with rage here, or is the devil fruit consuming him? Like, is this his awakened form,
Mm.
but he can't control it?
I do notice that this chapter specifically. I know he was talking last chapter, but he
Yeah.
didn't say a word this
No, yeah,
chapter.
he didn't have a single word. So this has to be like him losing it to the devil fruit.
Yeah, it could be him just getting really angry. I also want to point out when Luffy grabs him, even though he has the venom, like, is it a certain kind of venom? Is Luffy just immune to that just because of how
I mean,
he's
he's like
reacted to
notoriously
poison?
immune to venom,
Right.
which I love.
So,
Is just like the greatest power up of all time. Is just poison himself enough that it doesn't matter anymore.
yeah, I mean, pretty much. Like, he's gotten the worst he could have. I just didn't know if that counted for Saturn's poison as well, but
It's got to.
looks
I
like
just
it
don't
does.
know if it comes out of his face, but oh my god, that last big picture of him grabbing
It's
Saturn
so
by the
good.
face and Kizaru out of the air. He's like, I'm not only going to take on an admiral, I'm taking on the Gorosei.
It's
Right
so
here,
cool.
right now, you guys aren't going anywhere. Like, fuck, man. Is
Hmm.
this how far we've come? Is this how far we've come?
Oh, we're not done yet, too.
We're
Oh, I'm
not
so.
done yet. Like, oh my god, I just don't get me wrong. For the longest time, I felt like Luffy's ready to fight an admiral, or in Wano, I was like, oh, he could definitely, not one shot an admiral, but he could take an admiral here. But now we
Hmm.
jumped past. Yeah, you have to fight an admiral. To admiral is the side piece of the fight that I've just got to deal with this too.
Hmm.
Like it's just such a leap in power. Gear Fifth is incredible.
Hmm. Yeah. No,
Oh my
I'm
god.
loving all of that. I also, this is just me. Part of the reason why I love the Reverie arc is because it's a lot of people we met separately, but them coming together and
Mm-hmm.
connecting over Luffy. And we have that here with Dory and Broggy. Like, they've never met Frankie, but like,
Yeah,
they're best
loved
friends
that. It's
because they
like,
love Luffy.
oh my god, what are giants doing here? Well, you're not one of the Straw Hats according to the posters, so, who are you? And they're just like, oh, we're all friends? Cool, you guys get out of here. You're like, go on.
Yeah. No, I love it because Frankie's like, I'm ready to throw down, but like, we're in a hurry here. And they're like, no, no, we're good. Oh, I love it.
Okay,
I'm very excited for them to reunite.
so it's obviously it's the biggest point. Let's talk about it.
Hmm.
Vegapunk apparently going on transponder snail across the entire world to deliver the truth. Are we about to
No.
get the Void Century flashback?
Dude.
Like,
Oh,
he's either
man.
gonna say some things or we're gonna see some things, or he
Well,
gets killed immediately, which is also fair.
I just have to wonder, like, is it going to be something that we, the audience, already know, but the general populace in the world of One Piece doesn't? Or
I
is it going to
mean,
be something we don't know?
it's he's gonna tell him the truth of the world. We don't know the truth of the world. We know some stuff behind it, but we know Vegapunk knows everything.
Yeah, well, because, like, we know some of the truth. We don't know the whole truth, but we know the general nature of, like, the world
Yeah.
government's controlling a lot of things more than they probably should.
But see, I
Uh,
feel like if he goes out and says there was an ancient kingdom 900 years ago, in the
hmm.
Void Century they disappeared, and now these guys are in charge. I feel like that's not enough to make the world rise in revolution, you know. So I feel like we're about to get a big bombshell here. I feel like Oda
Yeah.
wouldn't highlight the word truth for the audience sake unless we were about to get some actual truth.
Yeah.
Because right now we know, like you said, we know a lot of stuff, but we don't know everything. And he's revealing it with his dying breath. This isn't the time for him to keep secrets anymore.
Mm-hmm. Because I could totally see it going that direction. I could also see it being, hey, there's an empty throne that no one's supposed to sit in, but guess what? Someone's been sitting in it for like the
Okay, you
last
know what?
800 years.
That's
You
fair.
know, I could see it
Well,
being
does
that.
he know about Emu?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, if he were to reveal that, I would accept that as a pretty big bombshell for the entire world.
Hmm. But
Well,
I could also see
no,
it being
no, I
your thing
wouldn't.
too.
Because while you're right, like from a narrative standpoint, that's not a horrible idea. Let's think about it. I mean, Sabo's whole thing was he saw emo and lived to tell, and then
Hmm.
went back to the revolutionaries. It was like,
Oh,
guys, it's like we already have someone doing that, so this
well,
has to be
also,
something
also,
else.
also too with Wapple and Vivi, like
Yeah. No,
he
we
saw
don't
all of
need
that. So,
everybody telling us
hmm,
emu's a thing. We've got
we don't
sources for
necessarily.
that.
Yeah,
So I'm
you're
placing
right.
my bet this has to be something else.
Yeah, Morgan's already has that information. That'll get out in due time for sure. So yeah, you're probably right. This is something else.
So I would like to shout out myself. A few weeks ago, we had a little bet about you thought they just kind of had a skirmish and escaped the exploding island. I was like, nah, we're gonna have a full fight here. And here's Luffy grabbing both them by their faces and just ready to throw down.
I
Like
mean,
five
listen,
weeks later,
listen. He could throw him
no,
down.
I was right.
We
This
don't know
doesn't
that. We
happen
don't know
very
that.
often.
We don't know that.
You don't know that?
We don't know that.
No, we don't know that. It's
We don't know that.
impossible to tell this early, you know.
Too soon to tell. We still got the vice admirals coming. The giants are coming. Where's that giant robot? Like we don't know what's happening yet. We don't know.
Uh, the line about can we call off a Buster call? Are we gonna like put a halt on things to extend the time limit?
Hmm.
God, where's fucking Zoro? I mean, I know he's fighting Lucci, but come on, he had that line last week about, oh, you think you're the one who's deciding when this is ending? Like, I'm just, not going all out yet. Where
Yeah.
is he? I feel like we could really use some Zoro at the moment.
Mm. Yeah. No, because that was my big thought last week when they had that line with when they're fighting and shit. Like this fight has to end soon because they're both talking about ending it soon. I think Zoro definitely has the upper hand personally, but yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I've got no fear for Zoro. I mean, he was what the second man to scar Kaido. I think
Hmm.
he can handle Lucci.
It'll be fine. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah, like God, I'm so disappointed by Lucci because he was Luffy's, in my opinion. Like I know Crocodile and are longer things, but in my
Hmm.
opinion, he was Luffy's first best and antithetical villain. Just like the overcoming power tower who stands for everything he doesn't and has,
Dark
there's no
Justice.
chance around him.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Crocodile was an intimidating foe who was hurting his friends and all that good stuff. But Lucci was just this like impending doom we cannot get around, and we have a time limit to do so. And it made for the first best fight of One Piece. And now he's just getting, sidelined by Zoro.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, he has
Or
his purpose
Kaku.
in this. I mean, man, Kaku for Nakama. I'll keep saying it, but
I'm
um,
open to it. I'm open to it. We already have a shipwright, though.
he's not a shipwright. He's an assassin. Okay.
Oh, Robin could do that.
I guess. I guess. Okay. So real quick, the scholar they're talking about, the giants are talking about.
Oh, yeah, I have no fucking idea.
I mean, the next page they say his name. I think they're talking about Saul, right?
Is Saul a scholar, though? Or
He was
does.
on the island of scholars.
He was on the island of scholars, but is he a scholar?
Mm. Because that, I mean, I'm not saying that's a sure thing. I don't think it is, because you're right. Is he a scholar? But I don't know. What else? Who else could it be? It's either a giant or someone in the red haired crew, if I had to guess.
I guess, Ben Beckman could be a scholar. That could be a fun twist.
He's a scholar, and he's good with a gun, and he smokes a lot. Like
Just
all
like my
scholars.
dad.
Just like your dad. But I don't.
Um, yeah, no, it's either that or I don't know. He was there at the Buster call. Maybe he saved one of the other scholars, and maybe it turns out Clover's alive. I mean, we saw him
That'd
get
be something.
murked, but One Piece is kind of famous for just the Control Z.
Yeah, but he was also pretty old, even in Robin's flashback, and she's like 20, 30 something, so like, I don't
I
know.
I'm
Not to say
fine
it's
if it is
possible to be
Saul,
100 years old. Hmm.
and but I just don't know why we build hype around him being a scholar. Now we already know he's alive. We know he's the man marked by flames.
Yeah, you're
I
not
just
wrong.
can't imagine now. Oh, the scholar. Who's that? Oh, it's also Saul.
Well, I mean, we don't necessarily know he's the man marked by flames. That's a very popular theory, and I think it's
Yeah.
correct, but we don't know for sure. But yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Definitely
Uh,
something to think about
but
moving
getting
forward.
back to Caribou at the beginning, what was there was a thing I wanted to say about that. Oh man, what did I have about Caribou?
I have a quick aside about Caribou.
Go for it, cause I'm blanking.
I forgot his moniker was Wet-Haired Caribou.
Oh yeah.
It's been so long since he was a threat.
Was he ever
Uh,
a threat? He was always just a mild inconvenience.
I mean, yeah, but like when you first meet him at Sabaody, he was like murking Marines and it was kind of terrifying. But then he kidnapped a bunch of mermaids and fishmen, and it was like, oh, I mean, he was never like truly a threat, but
Yeah,
like he was kind of a nuisance, kind of
I
scary a
do
little bit.
love, like, to an extent, I love Caribou. When he showed
Hmm.
up, he was no one, and he kept hanging out. So it's like, okay, what are you up to? And he just continued to be no one. And then he disappears for a while, and he shows up on Wano, where he's no one. And then
Hmm.
we get to Egghead, where he's no one. And now suddenly he's trying to join Blackbeard's crew, and it's just like, I love him. He did a great job of like alerting the audience that he's up to something big without ever giving anything away.
Hmm.
Aside from that time he said, "Oh, a certain pirate," and was like, "So Blackbeard, right?"
Yeah, but that wasn't until Wano, that was
Yeah.
end of Wano. It's so funny to me because last week he showed up in the chapter. But like before I read the chapter, I watched the new episode that came out last week. And I forgot that he was on Egghead with them until I watched the episode where he's talking to Zoro and Brook on the ship. I'm like, oh yeah, Caribou's on the island. What's he up to? And then I
Hmm.
read the chapter. I'm like, oh shit. So
Yeah. No,
it was just
he's.
kind of a funny coincidence.
I had a point to make about him talking to them, and I cannot remember what it is. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So Katarina Devon
Hmm.
has Saturn's appearance. We know
Yeah.
Blackbeard's plan, and I kind of just wrote it off as a one-off. He's being an arrogant bastard, but he wants to be an official nation recognized by the world government,
Mm.
which would get him access to Marijwa. Uh, but obviously, they're going to say no to that unless he manages to capture Garp on Fololed, so he has a bargaining chip. And even then, it's skeptical. But now we have, Katarina Devon is Saturn on the inside can be like, oh, we can't lose Garp. We should let him be one of us. And then he
Hmm.
can walk in and, have the secrets of the world. I think we're about to see Blackbeard take over the entire world, like he said he wanted to. And then Luffy's going to
Hmm.
come free him for real this time.
Yeah. Yeah, everything we've seen the last couple of chapters from the Blackbeard crew and this arc in general just kind of points to, them being more of a final villain than I initially
Mm-hmm.
thought they were, which
Oh no,
not that
I
I didn't, but
it's
like,
always I've always felt them to be final villain until Emu showed up, and then it was like,
right.
okay, so who is it?
That's
Because
what threw me off for
every
sure.
time any one of them does something, I'm like, final villain. Ooh, final villain. Oh, that's so final villain of you.
Hmm.
But
And
it's
that's
got to be Blackbeard. He's the one who's been built up so much longer and is the direct opposite to Luffy. The world
yeah.
government is a hurdle for him to free the world, but Blackbeard is the antithesis of who he is. He's gotta be the final villain.
Well, I could even see it being like a three-race struggle, just because it reflects just the nature of alignment in this world. Like you have the good pirates with Luffy, you have
Mm-hmm.
the world government that's been oppressive this entire series, and then you have the bad pirates with Blackbeard. So I could
See,
totally see it being all three of them.
I don't see that because while I'm confident Luffy's gonna defeat Emu, I feel like the rest of the world government's gonna fall to the revolutionaries. They're not just gonna
Hmm.
sit there and watch it happen. They're gonna be the driving force. Luffy happens to be involved.
Yeah, I
And
could
if
see
you're
that.
going to include the good pirates and the bad pirates in the world government, you got to include the Marines and the revolutionaries.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, for sure.
I disagree on what you're saying about morality there. Well, you're right. Like, it's not just pirates good, marines bad. Uh, I mean, Luffy's literally the sun god, and Blackbeard has the darkness root. Like, there is a very black and white dichotomy going on here.
Hmm.
Like,
No, you're not wrong for sure.
so I
Just
can't see a three-way
possibly.
struggle where it's like the morning, the night, and the mid-afternoon. So I'm imagining it's two separate two-way conflicts.
Yeah, just thinking about it now and how Emu has all that history and backstory, allegedly. Yeah, you're probably right on that point, for sure.
But yeah, Emu's going to be a huge major thing. I don't know who comes. Well, it's got to be Emu first.
Emu
But if
first, I have to
Blackbeard
guess.
takes over the world, what's even the point of fighting Emu? I have
Hmm.
no idea where this series is going.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, I'm so glad I hopped on the hype train.
Yeah, all right. I think that's
Yeah,
all I have.
that's everything I have for this week. Guys, if you
Yeah.
are enjoying that content, be sure to subscribe down below so we can keep you posted next week when the next chapter comes out. Gonna have a hell of a lot of fun with that one. Stay tuned because we do have a lot of weekly streams coming at you. Got some new weekend streams dropping in the near future too. So always, remember turn on that notification bell, know when we're going live. If you are really enjoying the content we're making, never hurts to leave a like on the video. Really helps us grow as a channel. So we do appreciate just that little bit of effort coming from you guys. And always feel free to get engaged in the comment section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let us know, what you think Blackbeard's up to. Let us know, like, your favorite moments so far and your theories. And it's such a good series. I love this series. Anywho, guys, that's going to do it for this time around. So we'll catch you next time.